So in this video we are going to study about convex mirrors. Now we have already done what are convex mirror, how they are made when we studied about concave mirror in the starting of this chapter. In this video we are going to study about the ray diagrams of convex mirror. Now first let us understand some rules about convex mirror. I told you in one of the videos in the starting that a spherical mirror is made by cutting this sphere. This is a sphere of glass, and if I cut them and polish the surface, one of the surfaces, then that will decide whether it will be a convex mirror or a concave mirror. For a concave mirror, we cut the surface and we polish the outer side. So this is the reflecting surface, and this will become a convex mirror. Concave mirror. But if we need to make convex mirror, then we can polish this side. Now this is the reflecting surface, and this will behave like a convex mirror. So now, since we always take object from the left, so instead of cutting this side, to make a convex mirror, we will cut this side. So I'll remove this. Suppose we cut this side, let us say from here, and we polish this inner surface. Now this outer surface will behave like a mirror, and it will be a convex mirror. This will be the principal axis, which passes through the center of curvature, which is the center of the sphere of which the mirror is part. Half of this distance, this is your pole, half of the distance between pole and center of curvature is our focus. Now, if you notice, in the case of concave mirror, the focus and center of curvature were on the left side of the mirror. But here they will be on the right side because the sphere is going like this. In a concave mirror, the sphere was going towards this side. You can draw it in your notebooks also, and you will be able to understand why this is the difference. So focus and center of curvature are on this side, right side of the mirror. Now, what is the difference? Why will this make any difference? I'll tell you. Imagine that there are rays coming from an object. There is an object somewhere here towards the left, and the rays are coming from that object. Suppose one of the rays, I am drawing just one ray. Suppose this ray is the incident ray and it falls on this mirror. Now what will happen? In the case of concave mirror, we knew that any ray parallel to the principal axis after reflection will pass through the focus. But in this particular case, the focus is on the back side of the mirror. It is at the behind of the mirror. So how the ray will pass through focus? It cannot pass through focus. Instead, what will happen? If this is a parallel ray, after reflection, this parallel ray will go like this. So this will be a reflected ray. It is not passing through focus. Similarly, if another ray again parallel to principal axis, what will happen? It will be reflected like this. So none of the rays are passing through focus. But if we are looking at the mirror from this side, from where I am standing, if we look at the mirror on this side, and if I notice this ray, then to me, what will it seem? It will seem that the ray is coming somewhere from here, like this. If I look from this side, if I am looking from this side, this ray will appear to be coming from somewhere here. Similarly, if I am looking from here, this reflected ray will appear to come somewhere from here. Now, when we look at the reflected rays like this, in this manner, then all these reflected rays, they appear to come from the focus. That means if I extend this reflected ray behind the mirror, they will pass through focus like this. These rays are actually not passing through focus, but they appear as if they are passing through focus, or in other words, they are coming from focus to the observer. So this is one of the rules that we follow, that if the ray is parallel to principal axis, it would appear that it is coming from the focus of the mirror. This is one of the rules. Second rule is, I'll just delete this one. Second rule is, suppose the ray is coming like this, and this is the ray, this is one out of infinite rays, this is one ray which would have passed through the center of curvature if there was no mirror in the way. That means if I remove this mirror, then this ray would have passed through center of curvature, but because there is a mirror in its way, this particular ray will reflect and will trace back its path. It will go back on the same path. So all those rays which would have passed the center of curvature if there were no mirror, they will trace their path back, they will rebound, they will be reflected on their own path back from where they are coming. So this is our second rule. Third rule is that suppose a ray is coming and it is striking the pole. Now this ray, it is making suppose an incident angle I. This ray, when reflected from the pole, it will go like this and it will make the reflected angle R, and angle I will be equal to angle R. So there are three rules that we are following here. I'll quickly repeat. All those rays which are coming parallel to principal axis, they will appear to come from focus, which is on the right side of the mirror. First rule. Second rule, any ray which is coming at such an angle that it would have passed center of curvature if there were no mirror in the way, that particular ray when reflected from the mirror will go back to its original path. This is the second rule. So I'll just write, this particular case is your first rule, this particular case is your second rule, and your third rule is this one, that if the ray of light is striking at the pole of the mirror, it will be reflected back, making the same angle, equal angle at the pole. So we are going to use these three laws in forming ray diagrams of the convex mirror. Now in your syllabus we just have two ray diagrams, and by now if you have understood this, then some of you might be able to see that no real image will be formed here, because everything that is happening here is behind the mirror. No ray is getting focused on this side where the screen is or where the observer is. No ray is getting focused. In fact, all the rays that are coming on the mirror, they are diverging at different angles away from each other. So they are not going to get focused on this side. Instead, they will appear to be focused on this side. That means the images that will be formed by the convex mirror will be virtual image, and all the virtual images are erect. So we'll take just two cases. In our syllabus we have only two cases. One case is, first case, object is between infinity and pole. It is somewhere between infinity and pole. This is, suppose this is your focus, let this be your center of curvature. The object is somewhere here between infinity and pole. Now one of the ray that we will take will be parallel to principal axis. What happens to the ray which comes parallel to principal axis? In the case of convex mirror, it would appear to come from focus. That means this ray, the reflected ray, will appear like this. It will go like this, so it would appear that it is coming from focus. The second ray will come at an angle which will go through the center of curvature if there were no mirror in the way. So the second ray will be like this, and it would go through the center of curvature. What happens to this ray? The incident ray and reflected ray are on the same path. So we have used first rule and the second rule. Now these two rays which are perceived rays, they appear to come from this side, they are not actually coming. These perceived rays are meeting at this point. So that means the virtual image will be formed at this point like this, and again we are going to write the same parameters. First is position of image. A position of image is between pole and focus. Between pole and focus. Size of image. Size of image, you can easily see that the image size is lesser than the object size, so we can say smaller than size of object. And last thing, nature of image. What is the nature of image? First of all, it is virtual and it is erect. All virtual images are erect, so we will write virtual and erect. So this is the first case when the object is between infinity and pole. And similarly, we are going to draw the second case. I'll make some space this side. Second case, object is at infinity. Object is somewhere very far away from the convex mirror. Let this be focus, center of curvature. Now when in the concave mirror also, for this particular case, when the object is at infinity, we took two rays which were parallel to principal axis. This same condition, in this very same condition, when we have convex mirror, those same two parallel rays can be taken again and they will be sufficient to make the image. So two parallel rays coming from an object which is at infinity, what will happen? First rule, they will be reflected in such a way that it would appear that they are coming from the focus. So this ray you will draw like this, and this ray you will draw like this. So these are your reflected ray which appear to come from focus. That means your image will be here at the point of intersection. And if we write the same three parameters, then first parameter, position of image, will be at focus. Size of image, now size is point size, so we will write highly diminished. You can also write point size, but highly diminished sounds good. It sounds that you know things. Nature of image, again the same thing, nature of image will be virtual and erect. So these are the two cases that we study in case of convex mirror. Make sure that you note these diagrams, understand these diagrams, and before drawing these ray diagrams, understand the three rules that we studied for the making of ray diagrams in the case of convex mirrors.